We begin in southern Lebanon, where Israel says its fighter jets have pounded more than 100 Hezbollah targets. The IDF says it hit rocket launchers and weapons facilities and traded blows with Hezbollah across the border on Thursday. The Israeli strikes happened as Hezbollah's leader blamed Israel for the deadly device explosions which targeted the militant group, which is considered a terrorist organisation by many countries.
A night of airstrikes in southern Lebanon. The Israel Defense Forces released these images they say showed their warplanes taking off to hit Hezbollah targets. They claim to have struck 100 rocket launchers and around 1,000 rocket launcher barrels ready to be used to immediately fire towards Israeli territory. Hours earlier, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah issued a warning to Israel. It came after dozens of people were killed and thousands injured when hundreds of pagers and walkie-talkies used by Hezbollah exploded.
This will be confronted with a severe reckoning and a just retribution in expected and unexpected ways. But because this new battle involved hidden hands, let me change my approach. I will not talk about a time, form, place, or date.
Israel has not confirmed or denied that it was behind the blasts, but its defense minister has said the country is in a new phase of war.
Our goal is to safely return the residents of the north back to their homes. As time goes by, Hezbollah will pay an increasing price.
But that threat and these latest Israeli attacks have done little to deter Hezbollah, which says it will continue to strike across the border into Israel as the US and others call for restraint.
Let's pick up some of those points with Anne-Christine Ron, who's a visiting fellow at the Middle East Centre at the London School of Economics. Welcome to DW. Should we see the recent device explosions followed by these intensified Israeli air attacks as precursors to something larger?
Well, it's important to stress here that we don't know what both parties are planning to do next. Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, said he won't go into details with the details of the potential retaliation attack. We know Israel has said they have changed their approach to South Lebanon. Netanyahu has told Amos Hochstein, the US envoy, that they will see a radical change in their approach to Hezbollah, but we don't know yet what they're preparing for. We know they have relocated an elite division from Gaza to northern Israel, and that might be a sign that they're preparing for a ground operation. But again, we don't know what the Israeli plans are yet.
Let's talk about the device strikes. We had the pagers and then the walkie-talkies. Why launch those device strikes now?
Well, there are different theories as to why these devices have been launched. But what we can say now is that it is a major blow to Hezbollah. It is an embarrassment because it does reveal some severe weaknesses in their communications infrastructure. That said, it might also be a preparation for a larger Israeli attack, the details of which we don't know yet. So we will have to wait and see in the coming days what the purpose of this explosion of communication devices really was.
And help us to understand what's going on here. We keep hearing this idea that each side is trying to raise the stakes without the situation flaring into all-out war.
Yes, so we are seeing a major escalation of the conflict now. And you are right in saying that both parties, since the start of the conflict, have been saying they want to avoid an all-out war, which might potentially spread to the Middle East at large. What we're seeing now, though, is the change in the Israeli rhetoric. We've heard Israeli officials saying that they no longer believe in a diplomatic solution to the conflict in the border area between Lebanon and Israel. So what we might see now is that the Israelis are preparing to use a military operation to force Hezbollah away from the border area and pave the way for a return of the citizens that have been evacuated from northern Israel.
Does that sound like a practical solution? You bomb your enemy out of an area, well, presumably they won't go that far, and put your own people in there. That doesn't sound like, well, it doesn't sound like anyone, even if it works, it doesn't sound like anyone's going to get much sleep.
Well, it is an extremely dangerous time for the Middle East, and especially for both Lebanon and Israel. We know that Hezbollah over the last 20 years have been building extremely advanced military capabilities that will enable them to cause quite severe damage on the Israeli military. And we know that Lebanon, on the other hand, is in a situation where the country has been in a devastating economic crisis for 5 years now and will not be able potentially to withstand even the large number of wounded that might result from a wider conflict. So yes, it is a dangerous, dangerous situation for both countries. But what we hear Israeli officials saying now is that there might not, in their view, be another solution. Of course, the international community keeps putting pressure on both Israel and Lebanon to engage in diplomatic negotiations to find diplomatic solution to the conflict in the border area. But again, these are dangerous times, and we are closer to the potential scenario of a larger war between Israel and Hezbollah now than we've been at any point in this conflict.
And just zooming out slightly, what sort of reactions are you expecting from the other regional players like Iran or Syria?
Well, that is difficult to say. Obviously, Iran has not retaliated for the strike on Tehran on 1st of August yet, although they have promised to conduct a retaliation attack. So it's hard to say how Iran and Syria and other players within the axis of resistance will react to this. But there has been talk and there has been speculations about whether an extended war, an extended conflict will also mean an increased involvement of different militias connected to Iran from both Syria, Iraq and also from Yemen. So this is a scenario that we cannot exclude and that Lebanon potentially is also preparing for alongside Israel, of course.
OK, thank you for talking us through that. Anne-Christine Duran from the London School of Economics. Thank you so much.
Thank you.